6 or 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. These needles, these scars are so important. Okay. They probably got you through a lot of difficult years. Okay. Like you're angry, you're hard to deal with, and potentially.
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Because you have a scar right here.
And that's like Ren and DU and all that.
That's right. It blocks your UB channel, your DU channel from going this way. Sleeping might be difficult, right? Because when your DU channel, okay, during sleep time, the DU channel doesn't go through our midbrain, right? Only during sleep time, our DU channel follows the diagram, right? It goes from, whatever, right? And then go through the top of the head, has to come through here, and then go into the mouth. If there's a blockage here, you can't sleep. You just feel like, yeah. And the DU channel run into UB channel, it's very hard for you to get out of your body. It's almost like you have extra senses, right? You can feel other people, stuff like that. Why? Because you have extra energy. So the question is, if we do this, you may lose. You may sleep better. Would you like to?
I would love to sleep better. I may lose what? No.
Okay. You may lose some of those incredible ability. Would you like to?
Make sure she can stay home.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, so for this, what I'll do is I will actually break the rule, right? So, or not break the rule, right? So the DU channel actually comes down like this, right? So everybody take a look at the scar, right? It's kind of faint, but she got it when she was 8, okay?
How did you get it?
It was like a pool accident. I was a kid and I was standing at the edge of the pool, and then I was at my best friend's swim meet, so they were all like diving off the diving board, doing all these crazy cool backflips. Oh. And me being a kid, I was like, oh, I could do that. So then I stood on the edge of the pool, did a backflip, but then my forehead hit the pool edge, and then I fell into the pool.
Oh no, oh my God.
Yeah.
And the pool was fine, right?
Yeah. The pool's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you need stitches for that?
Yeah, so I remember like being in the emergency room, and my mom, like, she came from work, and there was like this little cotton ball on my head with this tape.
Yeah. Okay.
And she like opened it up. I was like, Mom, what does it look like? And she's like, honey, it looks like a golf ball, because like there's nothing there, it's just your skull. So I guess that what she saw was my skull.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So any scars from young, okay, 8 years old, 2 years old, 5 years old, pay tremendous attention to it, okay? Anything that's from young age, okay? Because it was excitement, right? But then there's a chaos, right? There's concerned people, right? People probably put a very highly judgmental eyes on you. So you feel, it's very traumatic, okay? And the scars is right here, blood is going down and right? And emergency room, and, you get worked on, so something like that. It's a traumatic experience, okay? So we're going to put in the needle, right? So what you're going to do, you already recount that. Thanks for whoever that was asking, right? So already recount that that incident. What you want to do is all the people that you can that you feel like you come in contact with at that time, like your mom, your best friend's parent, the pool guards, and whoever that's calling the ambulance, and emergency room doctors and nurses and right? Feel like you are actually connecting to that, the whole experience. Anyone that's involved in there, whether you know them or not, connect to their heart of gold, okay? So to me, this is a lot of the accidents, we got to connect, okay? We got to get these fear or these agitation or this doubts or this extra carefulness or extra vigilance, right? The only way to get that out of there is really to restore our sense of heart of gold, okay? And exercise our choice, so we're connecting to people's heart of gold, right? And have this sense of unconditional love, right? And really, once we do this, you actually have tremendous gratitude, because you'll be able to see your patients. You will never be able to see your patients the same way ever again. Ever, okay? Because you got your first-hand experience. And through this, you'll be able to resolve You'll be able to see people, meet them at their needs. Okay, not your need or your want, but meet them at their needs at that moment, right? Precisely. Isn't that great?
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Okay. All right.
And we can connect to her.
Yes. Let's all do that. Okay. So people who have scars, okay, a break on this or something like that, okay, they have very violent childhood or something like that. Okay, there's a physical reason for that. Okay, make sure, anything that's head trauma, she actually may have more than this. Okay, this may have some kind of a minor concussion within her brain. Okay, so when you have a hit right here, okay, your brain actually accelerates.
Man, I get hit in the head every day.
Right.
Yeah.
So we can go deeper in.
Stop doing that.
Oh no, because jujitsu or training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. So last semester we have a lady. She was very strong, right? But she was in pause, right? So she won every competition she goes to, from a weightlifting standpoint. You guys may know who that is. But after that, she's not as strong. Okay.
Okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Are you ready?
Because I also encounter people that say, no, I don't want treatment because I need to perform. Okay? So I know you want to. Okay? I'm just tossing these out. Like
Yeah, no, that
those
makes me
are,
kind of nervous
right?
too to think about it, but it's
those
like,
are part of the, honestly, okay? So
Yeah.
when you meet people who are like, okay, in the ring, they're just unbeatable, okay? They're outside of the ring, if you look at them, it's like they're suffering, right? And you probably know why. Okay, there's a reason why they're so powerful, why they're so like, alert and so, they're just a fraction of a second faster than anybody else, right? Why? Because they're hyper vigilant.
that's okay.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Can
so
I ask a question? Or,
yes, please.
what you said got me thinking. I have a daughter,
Yes.
11. When she was little, she always bumped her head here. There's some big ones and some small ones, including a pool accident, which fortunately did not require stitches, but she came home with a golf ball kind of thing. And then she started having headaches. It's always here. It's strange. It's just triggered by things. It could be like when she's tired, when she's didn't have a good meal the night before. It's always here.
There's a blockage.
Yeah, and do you have any suggestion? Because
Yes.
she won't let me needle her.
No, do not needle, okay? Children, do not needle. Anybody who doesn't want needle, do not needle them, okay? It's trauma, okay? What you really want to do is to hug her, okay? To do something stupid like this, okay? I hope you don't mind, okay? It's like she's sitting on the sofa, you become the cushion, okay?
This is nice, actually. Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Yeah? You become the cushion. You open herself up. You open her up, right? You allow her to lay on you, right? To rest on you, right? Do this, okay? If you can do this, it's going to be good for you. It's going to be dramatically good for her. This is what I do with my mom every day. Okay. Yeah.
Does that have something to do with like the
But first, you need to establish that sense of trust. Okay. So when people have that condition, when we have this condition where we have a blockage right here, the first thing that goes out is trust. We don't trust anymore. Okay, it's not because she doesn't trust you. She just doesn't trust, period. Okay, because there's danger, there are accidents, there's something. So she's vigilant, right? She doesn't want physical contact. She doesn't want people to be around her, right? She doesn't want sympathy. There's a lot of interesting things going on, right? Love her anyway. Okay, this is what we talk about, right? And then the most important thing is you got to be better. Okay, you got to truly, you got to heal yourself. Okay, So lots of time we want to do the very best for our kids, right? But not at the cost of our well-being. If we're not well, they're not going to be well. Yeah, it's really that simple. Okay, and I think you feel that very deeply, right? So anything we want things to happen. We gotta be, it's like we want anybody to be well. We gotta be well at that level. So we can only treat at our own cultivation level, right? So it's not how much we want that person to be well. It's how well we are, right? So when we are well, they're gonna meet us, sooner or later. Okay, it may not be instantaneously, but it will. Okay, yeah. Ready?
With that being said, yeah, it's like letting go of one thing, it will help me open up to other things. And like if I have a blockage, then it'll be like not just to help me, but it'll be for helping like other people, so that I can like meet them better.
Yes. So so to me it's like, we talk about this, right? It's like everything has a purpose. There's a reason why you have this, and there's a reason why you're here. There's a reason why we're going to put 5 needles in.
Yeah, so it's okay. If I lose something, it's cool because I'll gain something later.
That's right. You'll gain tremendous. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So her deficiency is up, correct?
Her deficiency
Axis
is
here.
okay. So this is tricky, right? So there's a DU channel come down, right? And there's a UB come up. There's a gallbladder coming up, right? So this is basically, So this is basically at the UB level. So her left eye may twitch from time to time when you're or more like sensitive to things, or her sinus condition. If she has sinus condition, the left side might be more intense or something like that, right? Why? Because this energy is basically more centered on her eye. The UB channel from small intestine needs to come up here, and then needs to go up there. Okay, so.
And I just know lately I've noticed just like a lot of swelling in like my. Not just like this I've noticed recently, but I've realized like there's type of swelling back here. Yeah. And it feels like squishy when I really get into it.
Yeah. So this has a lot, when you have this, it's just like things are just not, So everybody just walk over, okay, and just do this one time, okay? And then leave, okay? And then we're going to needle, and you're going to do this again, okay? So starting from you,
I did drink that coffee too.
Yeah.
How fun.
Oh, I like this. This is like a cafeteria. Yes. Yeah. Getting your food. Yes.
But I'm curious, don't you feel cool if you have a scar as a kid?
No, actually, when he was
Only the ones that you draw yourself. Yes.
Because I feel proud, like, I got a scar.
Yeah, that's true, right? You show people,
Yeah.
and now she's like doing this in the class, right? It doesn't have to be
Okay, Hugo, you're gonna do it again. Okay.
Okay.
Just one side. Okay. One
Just one
direction.
side, okay.
Just one direction. Follow the UB side. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Good. All right. Okay. There we go. Okay. Let's connect.
Oh, yeah. And she wants to sit down.
Is this okay, or would it be better to lay down, or?
Sit down is perfect.
Okay.
Yes.
You want the ones right now.
It's easier for the camera. Yeah. It's easier for our viewers to.
So you are going to needle the.
Yes. So here's the scar. It's actually very faint, right? So here's the scar. Okay. So here's the first needle. So you can see the needles are actually right here, right?
Why you don't go
Oh, you didn't go from the division side?
That is the deficient.
That is.
No,
the
it's not.
No?
No, this is the, you're right. So for the do channel, I'm not going through the deficient side. And another excuse I have is this is daytime.
Oh.
And she is connecting to loving kindness, so her do channel is not going through the top of her head. Okay? Her do channel is actually going through here all the way to yin tang. It's actually bypassing most of this thing. Okay? So that's just my excuse.
It's easier to go from there. On top.
So at some point you gotta find out like, okay, it's what's easier for you, right? So there's a lot of consideration. Ideally we go from the deficient side, but at UB the deficient side is actually, I'm actually at the deficient side because the UB goes this way.
UB,
Right.
UB.
So this part of the forehead is actually not easy to needle because there's no muscle, right? Or very little muscle, right? But you still go through anyway, okay? Four is sufficient, but since I have five, just...
Do you have experience that when you do scalp acupuncture,
I don't like scalp acupuncture.
kind of like on the head, and people want to faint?
Yeah, I actually do, and there's teachers here that are very proud of their scalp acupuncture. So one time she needled another acupuncturist in her clinic, and she's like, how is it going? And I come over and say, do channel is not running. And she was like, no way, how can it be? Right? Then she said, like, how did you get it to run? Right? Then I do something, and the acupuncture, the guy that was there was like, oh, now it's running. So there's a lot of, honestly, just, the channel, the way, to me, the channel is so simple. Okay, you don't have to go through these esoteric, like these patterns, flower patterns or whatever, right? And if you just follow these simple thing, right, and find blockage, right, have the concept of blockage, right, have the concept of mental blockage, right? It's all about blockage, and all we're doing is, to be a good plumber, right? You go in here, it's like, oh, the toilet is not flushing right? You just fix it. Right? And how do you fix it? Who knows where it is blocked? Our job is to find where it is blocked. Okay. So now let's form that line again. Okay, and just go through it again. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I wish you can feel it yourself too.
Yeah. Well, I'm feeling something.
Yeah.
Many years ago.
I was at weddings.
Anybody feel differently?
Yeah, so.
Vibrant, right? Feel something, right? Yeah. Good. That's basically that. Yeah.
So I definitely felt it I could feel you going through like the scar itself, and that did feel like you needed a little more umph in the insertion.
Yeah, yeah,
But it just felt like pressure.
yeah,
And then like once everything was in, it was almost like I could feel things just like go like this and down.
yeah, yeah.
And then like I could feel like the stuff that I was talking about before, like it almost like the pressure releasing, and it just got like, and then I could feel it like down my back, just like things aligning.
Yeah.
And like you were saying like when a person was like this, because I do feel like this all the time, but then like once everything is in, it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's where it's
Yeah,
supposed
because
to
your
be.
DU channel is not fighting with your UB anymore. And your UB is free flowing down. So essentially what you're going to feel is like, this
Yeah.
goes all the way to your buttock, right? All the way down to your feet, right? And all of a sudden, when this is going through, your DU channel can come up. So that will uplift you. Okay? So good posture is not because we're doing this muscle-wise. A good posture is our DU channel and our ren channel are just free flowing. And you just have this beautiful posture. You know, you're relaxed. It's not like, you know, you walk around like this, right? You're really, truly relaxed, you know. And you'll be very reactive as well at the same time. So your boundary is good, right? So the ren channel and the DU channel, I cannot overemphasize that, okay? So anything that has to do with the head, okay, is so important. So important, yeah. And these are the time where I just feel this tremendous amount of gratitude, you know, when you needle through and you know, the energy is different and the person all of a sudden is like this. Honestly, you can't learn this in school, okay? But this is very simple because all you do is you find blockages. And you know, when the patient comes in with all these issues, right, for, you know, it's like, you know, she probably have some potential digestion, bloating, menstruation issues and stuff like that, right? And all of a sudden you're talking about something totally different. When did you get this? Oh, when I was 8, you know, a pool party and right? And you resolve this, and all of a sudden her whole life is like, you know, all these accumulations of things, right? You start to truly resolve them. Okay, isn't that great? I mean, to me, you know, honestly, to me, this is rewarding for me to be in Chinese medicine instead of just, you know, needle. Right? Needle to me is not exciting. Right? This is extremely rewarding. It's just allow me to fill myself with gratitude. You know, it's like, oh, thank you. Right? Yeah. And then she'll be a lighthouse. Right? She can't help it. Right? You can't unlearn this now. You can't unlearn that. Right? It'll become our first-hand experience, and you'll be a great, great, great doctor. Right? You'll be treating from your heart from this point on. Okay?
And then there were points that I thought like UB11 or UB13. I thought those were like the blocks, like right here, because it's always like burning and pain. But like as I'm sitting here, just like feeling myself exhale, like it's like that part that I thought was blocking is now just like like relaxing.
Yeah.
That is true.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I
So
just want to like lay here.
yeah. So
I see what you're saying now about laying down.
yeah. Cool. Excellent. Okay. So how much time do we have? Okay. Because we do want to get to the breasts, okay, or the chest. Okay, let's do that. Okay. Can we pair up? If you're not comfortable doing it, please just not do it. Okay. But I will highly encourage you to try it, okay? Yeah. Okay. So you guys pair up? Okay, great. Just find a table, okay? Can I have a volunteer? I'll show some hands. You do? Okay, all right.